I'm here with Stephen Phelps of Buena Vista University. Stephen is in his 16th season as the Director of Athletic Communications for the Beavers, and he's a 2005 grad of BV. Stephen, we'll start with you just telling us your story and what encouraged you to come back to work for your alma mater, and what's the biggest reason you've been sticking around for so long.
Sure. Well, I've just grown up a big sports fan. I knew I wanted to do something sports related once I graduated from BV. I went in as a mass communication major and kind of got into the more of the video and a little bit of the radio side of things. Got associated with the TV station here on campus a little bit. Did a little work with the campus newspaper. But ultimately, I did work study within the sports information office. And uniquely enough, my advisor at that point was Paul Meisner, who's now at the University of Dubuque. So I got to work under him for 3 years. And he really taught me a lot about the profession. I did a lot of the public address announcing as a student, didn't do as much of the stat taking and the web maintenance and all that sort of thing at that point. Um, and then Paul left to go to Dubuque, and Nick Huber came and took over at BV, and he needed a little extra help with some of the veteran students. And so I got a little bit more involved, doing a little bit more of the behind the scenes work there. Nick, sadly enough, passed away from Lou Gehrig's disease, and he battled that throughout his time at BV. And I just thought it would be a great opportunity to kind of fill in his shoes the best I could from that sports information role. So when I left BV after graduation, I stepped out into the real world and was an assistant SID for 1 year at the University of West Alabama. And then the SID job at Grinnell College opened up. So I moved a little bit back, or moved back closer to home at that point for 1 year. And then by that point, they were looking to fill Nick's position at BV. And I thought that'd be just a great opportunity to get back to my alma mater, to be able to promote the student athletes there, a place I really grew to love over the 4 years I was there as a student. And then on top of it, I was back to within about a half an hour of my family. So it all worked out well in the end. It was a little bit of a long road to go on and come back, but I've loved every minute of being back here at BV.
That's great. And we're sure glad that you're there at BV and all the spotlights you do for all the student athletes there. So since you came back to BV, you've been behind all the establishments of the Beaver social media pages. So how has the technology advanced from when you started your career to today, and how has that transition been for you?
Sure, yeah, it's been a really good transition. A lot has definitely changed in my 16 years. And if I go back to when I was a student, things have changed even more. We no longer have to sit behind a telephone and report all the scores. We don't have to use a fax machine to send out box scores to all the media. A click of a button and everybody has that information now. Or just a simple post on the website or on social media, everybody has that information now. So it's definitely become a more time efficient profession, which is good because there's a lot more involved with that we're responsible for now than we ever used to be. As technologies evolved, schools and ADs and administrators want to try and use that technology to kind of enhance the game day environment for all of our teams and our coaches and our athletes. And so anything game day related tends to fall back on the SID office more than any other spot on campus. So we've definitely picked up a lot more responsibilities, kind of had a little bit more emphasis from other people to get things done. So the workload has definitely increased, but there are things that have made it a lot more time efficient, user friendly. Website, being able to go to a third party vendor for a website, not have to do everything internally nowadays. That's definitely a time saver there. And just the creation of graphics and some other different entities there have just really saved time for us when we're crunched for time the way it is.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, I'm sure there's been a lot of memories in your time working for the conference and at BV, but what has been your favorite thing about working for the conference?
It's just a great conference, and as a lot of people attest to, it's one of the best conferences in Division III in the country. It doesn't matter the sport. Every championship season, we tend to have at least one team go pretty deep into the tournament field. So it's always great to be a part of a conference that has had a great deal of success. And just a great group of colleagues to be with. I mean, we've had a great mix of veterans and newcomers over the years, and they're always, hard at work, very easy to get along with, and very workable, and just a great group of colleagues to be around. So I wouldn't want to be a part of any other conference.
That's great. Thanks so much, Stephen, for all that you do for the student athletes at BV and our conference.
Thanks, Allie. I appreciate it.